Hello there, welcome to a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy, where today we're going to be having a bit of a look at Spyro Gateway to Glimmer. So I can hear my voice being played back to me there, so I better keep the microphone headphones off. I've not plugged them into the monitor, plugged them into the PC, so that's why you're hearing the audio. So, I've brought my other save files up to speed. This one here on save slot 3 is just a personal one for me to play, because in case I want to play a bit of Spyro while I'm not recording. So, today we're going to have a look. Let's go with the first one. Let's try and go with our original one. So we 100% completed that, 120% completed that, and we haven't got all the skill points yet, but we've still got stuff to do on that one. But we'll show you not much though, so I might leave that until the final part, and then we can go for all the skill points and all the trophies. And that could be the sort of end. Also as well, thank you ever so much for the comments. I really do appreciate people talking about this, and I will address them as best I can. Unfortunately, I haven't printed them off, and my short memory is terrible, so I will try and remember them as best I can and talk about them. But yes, I do appreciate it.
Is this rain ever gonna stop? I've forgotten what the sun looks like. We should go on vacation. Somewhere warm. Somewhere sunny. Dragon Shores, yeah! I haven't been there since we kicked Nasty Nork's butt. How about it, Sparks? You up for a vacation at the beach? Last one there's a Nork!
It's nice to think of Sparks a bit of a voice. Oh yeah, all the audio is delayed as well, so I apologise if I'm a bit slow.
Is it working, Professor?
Almost. Just a few more adjustments to these orbs and...
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bringing a dragon here could just make Ripto more angry.
Calm down, Hunter, and stop fidgeting.
But you saw the professor's book. They have claws like this, and teeth like this, and they can spit fire like this. They sound much more dangerous than Ripto.
That's exactly the point. A dragon is our only chance of stopping Ripto, and you know it.
It's working! It's working! I've got a dragon!
Huh?
Whoa! Rough landing. Hi, which way's the beach? Hey, stop staring. Haven't you guys ever seen a dragon before?
You're a dragon?
You got a problem with that, pussycat?
Well, well, someone forgot to invite me to the party. Were you trying to keep something from me? A dragon? You brought a dragon to Avalar? I hate dragons. Yeah! Crush! Kill it! Kill it! Go, you imbecile! You ate my scepter! I'll deal with you later!
Who was that jerk?
That was Ripto, and we have to get rid of him. He's causing all sorts of trouble around here, but I haven't got time to explain. Here, take this magic guide to Avalar. It'll help you begin to understand our worlds. Right now, I have to follow Ripto and see what he's up to. I'll meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Hey, wait a minute! How do we get ourselves into these messes, pal?
I've just been reminded, Dad sent me a text there. I will have to, sometime in the day, get up and get to the door, but that'll change. I'll edit all that out, so might take me a while. So I'm going to set the timer, and we can begin. So first thing, impressions so far. Not hugely impressed by the dialogue there. Some of the delivery was a bit off, and I mean, I'm going to be a bit more critical of this game, I think, and I think more defensively so, or at least I will be more. I think my convictions in the criticism here will be stronger, because this was once upon a time my all-time favorite video game. Like, now I couldn't make such a decisive claim, but this was quite an important game to me when I was a kid, so I will have a couple of problems and I will air them, but I don't think it'll be so bad. I mean, so far, I mean, Glimmer looks beautiful. Not okay with some of the things, but I can see where they're going with it. And oh yes, they've got that big green gem in the wall.
Unfortunately for us, a mob of lizards just showed
Okay,
up,
no, let's carry on.
stealing all of our gems. Can you stop them?
I think so far his delivery has been the best. I think Alora speaks a bit too fast. I think Hunter's voice is a bit too different for my liking, but sorry, I'm waiting for the gems to pop out of them. Gems don't pop out of enemies in this game, but we'll talk about that soon enough. The Professor seems okay. Again, gotta break that habit. The character models are okay. I'm not a big fan of Hunter's. Alora's isn't as nice as I would like, but I mean, she was my favourite character in the original trilogy of games anyway. Oh yes, of course we've got Hover as well. How nice indeed. Just check, there's definitely no more gems up there. I mean, we can get them later. Oh, and the Hover feels so good as well. I'm quite confident about it. But yeah, I think the characters talk a bit too fast. Like, they talked a lot slower previously. Or perhaps Hunter sounded as if he was a bit stoned at times. Like, because one of the jokes was his reaction times were really, really slow. He's kind of a bit of a dumbass. But I don't know. We'll see how they do here. I think it's because in the third game they want to make him a bit more. They want to make him cooler rather than like the comic relief character. But I don't know. I just think as well it's like the direction as well. I think I'll have some criticisms of the voices there, but honestly, that character there was fine. The gem cutter.
She asked me to help you out. Whenever you find me, I'll remember your progress. Like this. That zap means that if you get into trouble, I'll return you to this place. See you around.
Thank you, Zoe. Or Zoe, whichever pronunciation you prefer. I think there was a Zoe in one of my classes when I was a youngin. Yeah. And the way I pronounced her name was Zoe. In fact, I think actually her name had an umlaut in it. The sort of O with the two dots above it, like a sort of like a 90-degree exclamation smiley. So, I mean, I'm sure you all know what an umlaut is. I haven't listened to the music either. It's too quiet to hear, and with my voice playing back, I can't listen to it anyway. I'll have to plug my headphones in in the next
dragon
part.
or not, I'm afraid there is a small fee to open the bridge. It will cost you 100 of your gems to cross. Thank you, Mr. Dragon. Spyro, was it? You can now use the bridge whenever you want, free of charge. I hope we meet again, when you have even more gems.
I like the voice of Moneybags a lot, but it's not the original. It's like they are two now separate entities, as far as I'm concerned. That they're trying to be.
Look around this cave.
It's like Auric is a cousin of Moneybags. Auric from Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. This Moneybags might as well be as well. Like, I mean, I get that they're trying to go with the idea of Moneybags, but the whole posh character. But I think the old Moneybags was a lot slimier.
Thanks for helping us fight off the lizards. Please. Please take this talisman of glimmer as a sign of our gratitude.
That is the best voice I've heard in both games so far. That is exactly like the original. That is perfect. Absolutely astonishing. Twitchy the Gem Cutter, you will be spared from the purge, which is no doubt going to happen. Because none of these are original. Ooh, I like that
Take you to
effect.
Summer Forest, one of the homeworlds of Avalar.
So we'll get to know the homeworlds a lot more intimately as and when we finish this level. However, we have got to try and get as close as we can to 100% completion of this one. Now, we can't 100% complete this level because there are, unless something has changed, because we need a climb ability. Now, this is where Spyro began to learn new abilities. And he would pay a sum of gems to moneybags to learn how to swim, how to climb, and how to do the headbutt. Not like the charge. I mean, like you jump and then you press triangle, and it would spin you around and slam into a surface. I can imagine that is probably going to be one of the best animations in the remaster, or the Reignited Trilogy, which
Little
would be
lizards have eaten my entire crop of gems. I've tried hitting them with rocks, but they're too fast for me. You can try using one of my rocks. If you have any questions, just ask me.
This is as well. We had mini games as well. We can use this. Oh, nice. The controls are a lot smoother here.
Nice shooting.
I remember this used to be a lot harder. With all. Oh. Okay, so I seem to be cancelling out of the glide. And I think I know why. I think it's because they want us to use the super flight, which is this little thing here. But we won't be doing that just yet. We will get around to that shortly. And I think it's, yeah, because I don't think they want us to fly in the cave and use that ability. I was tempted to actually start this challenge here, but no, I don't think I will. I think we'll wait till we get the super flight.
You can spit pretty far, Spyro. See if you can spit all the way to the lizard.
The rocks certainly feel different, a lot less heavy. These have quite a bit of weight to them, and when you hit an enemy, yeah,
to
they're
hit
quite
that lizard
tough.
up high, you'll have to aim. Press the action button to aim, then...
And it's just a moving target, which makes them a bit tougher. Let's try and wait for him to come back over here so I don't waste the rock. And go. There we go. I didn't realise there were 6. I thought there were... Oh, actually, yeah, I'm just counting now. Yes, there are 6. I thought it was only about, 4 or 5 at most. But now I just remembered. I don't believe there's another one in here. I think they're both, the rest are down here. Just making sure that the audio was actually playing. I'll wait for him to go over here again. So I'm going to try and remember some comments while this is going on. Recently, Super Spyro fan, new subscriber, thank you ever so much for subscribing and commenting as well. It means a lot to me. I do enjoy reading your comments. They were recently saying that they preferred, they like a manual save system in the game, and very much like Red Dead Redemption. And I don't know if Red Dead Redemption really is the best example of this. I think Elder Scrolls, Mountain Blade, Divinity, they allow you to save on the spot. Now maybe Red Dead Redemption 2 allows you to do that. And if it does, awesome. But yeah, I mean, I think it's especially important in Divinity, or other turn-based tactics games, whereby you can sort of save in combat, so that if you mess up, you know, a hit or something like that, you can reload the save. And I mean, it is called save scumming and whatnot, and I wouldn't expect anything like that in Spyro, but the option is sort of always nice, you know. But yeah, and with how easy the game is, it's not like you really need it. I mean, the only reason why I was complaining about saving before was the Let's Play. So I had to make another save. I really don't mind autosave. It's not actually that bad on this game or on this system. It's just for the Let's Play that I had trouble with it. Anyway, let's continue on with this quest here.
Great! The Superflight power-up is active, and you can restart our gem lamps. Flame all the lamps quickly, and the big gem lamp will light. The power-up will give you enough magic to fly for a short time.
What a minor thing to talk about, but I really do like the sort of the text scrolling speed there. It's nice. I like that. It's very much like the originals. Actually, you can download the font for Spyro 2's quests, the original. I used it in a couple of videos, and I can't remember what it was called. If I can find the name, I will. But just type in, like, Spyro 2 font, and you'll be able to find it quite easily on Dafont and other such sites. I apologise for interrupting the wonderful voice acting of the gem cutters there. There's been yet another discussion on Dark Spyro about the blow. Now that wasn't there before, as far as I can remember, but I wonder if that's a place we can go to. Now, in a DLC. Now, the reason why I said that is because someone brought up this really interesting theory that, well, not a theory as such, an idea, that there may be more expansions. There is a door in the Artisan's Homeworld. That's an example of the hover in play there. There is a door in the Artisan's Homeworld that I failed to sort of try and go through before, but there is a door. The sort of way you start the game, if you go back, there's a door at the castle, and you can charge it, and it sort of almost opens, and it rattles. And players have guessed, this player especially has done a guess that that's there for a DLC or an expansion or something, and I'm not so sure. But when I saw that sort of blockaded area there, I'm wondering if that's something for the Super Flame ability. I won't go into too many details about that though, but yeah, it's just an idea, just a theory, you know. And I might try it, especially if there's any skill points we need to go for here. Now we've got those parts of the lamp up. I wonder if we can do this all with the super flight here. Now, normally you would need the climb ability to get to that part there. However, we can use the super flight with a bit of initiative, which is rare coming from me. I mean, I always try to act on my own initiative, but I always get a bollocking for it. Well, not that. It's just that I tend to do things wrong, so that's why I don't act on my own initiative a lot of the time. Oh, shit. Right, okay. It looks as though they have fixed it. You see, you could actually use that flight there to fly all around here. But instead, you've got to get the climb ability to go up here.
We gem cutters are a bit too short to climb these ladders. It looks like you are too. After you learn to climb, come back to Glimmer to see me.
Yeah. So we've got these rungs here. So can't do anything with them. Can't press any buttons to activate it. When you learn the climb ability, you will automatically leap into it. Or rather, you jump at it and you will automatically latch on. So, oh, and yeah, the lamps reset after a number of times. So, we can't get all the stuff here, which is a bit of a shame, but never fear. We can go on to the next level. Oh, okay. Now, if there's a load, I'm not sure if there's going to be a loading screen that cuts in. Okay, so, in this game, instead of just, like, freeing dragons, collecting gems, and getting eggs, you have to get the talisman of each level until the final lobby. So you've got to get the 14 talismans, one from each level, so 14 levels. Gems allow you to pay your way through certain things, and you're willing to buy some abilities for certain things.
Oh no! Oh, hello. We didn't get a chance to introduce ourselves before. My name is Alora.
Hi. I'm Spyro. What are you, some kind of goat?
I'm a fawn, you dork.
Oh, sorry.
Did you meet the gem cutters in Glimmer?
Yeah, they gave me a souvenir, too. They called it a talisman.
They gave you a talisman?
What, is it special? I just stuck it in the guidebook you gave me.
Well, there are 14 talismans in Avalar, and they are all magical. If you can collect enough of them, they can be used to defeat Ripto. Hunter, where have you been?
Oh, I got a little lost.
Spyro's gonna help us collect the talismans.
I am?
He is.
Spyro, look. There's no way you can get to Dragon Shores right now. Ripto and his monsters have taken over the castle here in the Summer Forest. You're going to have to go to Avalar's worlds and convince the inhabitants to give you their talisman. You can keep them in your guidebook.
Hey, I could do that. Why doesn't the dragon just torch Ripto?
Hunter, you can't even keep track of your running shoes. How can we trust you with 14 talismans? If you come across any orbs, they're important too. But I'll tell you about them later.
Okay, no problem. I'll collect a few talismans, give Ripto the old hot foot, and be in Dragon Shores by lunchtime.
For some reason, the audio cut off a bit soon there. So now we've completed Glimmer. It shows the talisman there. Looks like it's seen better days. I like the little details on it, but I prefer when it was, you know, just solid gold. I suppose back in the day they couldn't really afford to put such details on the talismans. So yeah, so the goal is to collect the talismans. Gems will still be required to buy your way through certain areas. Think of moneybags as sometimes as like a balloonist that will allow you to access part of the hub or whatever. Or sometimes the Rebiggly Fire Gun. You've got to pay to use the Rebiggly Fire Gun. Of course, if that was done today, you'd have to actually pay real money to do that. But not here. Now, Summer Forest looks absolutely astonishing. Loving the detail, loving the design. It's all fantastic. Oh, and also as well, Spyro can swim in this game. Yeah, it looks beautiful. And yeah, we're going to be going down here. Now, we can't dive under, unfortunately, just yet. But perhaps we will soon enough. Let's see what Alora's got to say now.
Spyro, this is the homeworld called Summer Forest. There are portals to many of the Avalar worlds around here. Unfortunately, Ripto has taken over the castle, and we need your help. Start by retrieving the talismans from each of the worlds you visit.
Okay. So we can't go to the other homeworlds just yet. Like, it's not like before where you could actually skip a homeworld. It's like now you kind of have to you have to basically do all of the levels. So it's starting to become more of a platform action game than just a raw, unadulterated collectathon like it was before. Again, absolutely, I'm taken aback by how beautiful the world is. Still prefer the original, but my god, it's like it's really hard to say that when this is as good as it looks. I cannot deny this looks fantastic. Another comment that Super Spyro fan had for us as well is is that that they prefer the sort of hero's tail model, from what I remember.
Ripto smashed this bridge, so I guess you'll have to glide across it. Press
Spyro.
the jump button, then press jump again while you're still in the air to glide.
So telling us how to glide, we already know how to do this. So X and X again, and triangle to hover. So it gives us that nice little bounce. And I sort of, I would have to agree, I enjoy the hero style model. I mean, honestly, Spyro here isn't as offensively bad as I originally thought he was. I didn't like the cover art, initial reveals of artwork or anything like that before. But now I am pleased that, you know, they've gone with this one. I think my least favourite Spyro, besides Skylander Spyro, as he's sort of nicknamed.
Sparks, the dragonfly following you around is your health indicator, Spyro. The brighter he is, the more hit points you have.
I think it's about Sparks, we already know that anyway. Skyro obviously is going to be my least favourite one. It doesn't look good at all. I mean, honestly, I think even like the Skylanders Academy, which if you don't watch it, it's a fantastic TV show. And I'm not into like these sort of kids shows like, you know, We Bare Bears or Adventure Time or Bob's Burgers, or, you know, these are the
Nice, Spyro.
well, the orb above his head was new. But yeah, Skylanders Academy is so good. And I think they treated Spyro quite well there at
hold
times.
it down to get more hang time.
We even had an episode with Crash Bandicoot that was
Okay,
cool.
not bad. Now to make this next jump, you'll have to glide. Press the jump button, then press jump again at the top of your jump to get the maximum glide distance.
Not a fan of Hunter's voice here, I'm not going to lie. The water here is new, probably to make it splashy when you jump. I like that, it's quite good. Makes sense as well. Continuity.
Nice job! Now try to do a hover. Press the jump button, then press jump again to glide. When you reach the end of your glide, press the action button to hover. Hovering will give you extra height and distance.
Okay. There we go. I think they've actually made that a bit more pronounced, so then you have to do it, because I used to be able to like just glide and without really hovering.
Very good. Now for the hardest leap of all. You'll have to give this one everything you've got. Get a walking start, jump, glide, and hover just before you get to the edge of the platform. Don't forget to press forward on the left stick when you hover.
I hadn't thought of that actually. I normally just press triangle.
Pretty good athlete.
Without pressing forward.
Lost my running shoes, I'd take you on for
or just
real.
like tap it, you know.
For now, here's an orb for your collection.
So there we have the basics, and the orbs look quite good, I have to say. Not there, but before, when it was showing you the real orb. I must admit, I'm not hugely fond of the UI elements. I might try and get on top of there just for the hell of it later. No point, but yeah, anyway. I'm going back and I don't need to. I saw it in an orb earlier and I realised I need to learn how to swim first, so let's see if we can buy that ability.
Sorry, Spyro. I'd love to teach you how to swim underwater, but not as much as I'd love to take your treasure.
Ah, damn, we haven't got enough gems. And I don't think we're ever going to have enough from the lobby alone or from Glimmer. So it means we will have to do a level. I'm just going to have a look around for a bit more loot. I can see some scraps here. But no, it looks as though we will have to do a level. And I would like to do one where we don't need to swim immediately. So that we've got a choice between Idle Springs or Colossus. Colossus to me bag. Anyway, on that pleasant note, let's do Colossus. So we don't have to swim there. In Idle Springs we would, and it means going back. Also, one of the things with Spyro 2 is we will be spending more time per level because of the mini games and such. We may have time to do everything in Idle Springs. So there is a Yeti, and these rams are being given as sacrifices, but unfortunately, one of the brothers was eaten. Brother, may I have some rams?
Rampaging around our home, but we've managed to trap him by shutting all the doors. If you talk to the other brothers, they will open the gates and guide you to him.
Right. So they've trapped they trapped the Yeti. Now I'm just having a quick look at the skill points. So for Colossus we need a oh Christ. Perfect in hockey. What a fantastic start. There's none for Summer Forest, none for Glint. Which has these things? Yes we can. And I've been met with some resistance. Using your head. Very good. So character Spyro. Yes, I think the Spyro Hero Style model is one of his finest. Lacking some details. I think that's where they really try to go soft on quite a lot of they try to excuse it for like greater graphical fidelity or brighter hues and things like that. Like I would define a Hero's Tales art style as less is more, or so the developers believe. And I think in doing so, they actually managed to achieve that 60 FPS. Which I would like to remind you, this game does not. I love the statues. I quite like the monk's details. I think they could be a lot more simplistic, though. I still prefer the original. Things are looking a bit ricky-ticky here. Reminds me of Frostfire Peak in Warlords of Draenor for World of Warcraft. Oh Christ, I'm gonna get started on that, aren't I haven't bothered to log in this week for my Hadraxian Waterlord's reputation grind. I must, but I'm just so burnt out on the idea of giving Blizzard any more money. Okay. You're asking, yeah, thank you.
You know how to chant like this.
So you need to kill all the enemies before the this brother Clive will raise the stairs. The reason why I'm a bit tired of giving Blizzard money is because they have a severance package scheme where basically they pay people to leave the company, which was originally for I think people who'd served 5 years in their custom service divisions. They've now extended it to everyone. Out of their 4,700 employees that were counted in 2012, I think that number has actually gone up. 100 employees have taken that severance package. So it's been reported by various news sources. And
each time you defeat an enemy, it will release a spirit.
I just think that with how little content there is in the game already, and how much they've had to time gate it,
if a power-up is inactive, you need to defeat more enemies.
This is coming straight off the back of sorry, I mean this isn't. Sorry. I mean, not to mention as well. Now we know that level from Spyro 1. There's one of the brothers there. With some horrible beastie in the background there, I do believe. And I'm not quite sure what that one is. That might be. Oh fuck! I think I know it. I just can't place my finger on it. We may find out soon enough. See the door there in the Arson's homeworld I was referring to earlier. Activision had recently patted themselves on the back and give one of their employees $15 million as a bonus.
Look what I can
do. This money isn't going to develop a game. This is a pay packet bonus, and that's a lot of money. But I mean, by that token, I can no longer justify buying any Activision games with microtransactions, because that's not going to the games, that's not going to improve the games, that's not going to anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this person didn't work hard for that money, I'm sure they did. You know, it's like I have to give that to these publishers because they know how to make a fuck ton of money. But then so do arms dealers and sex traffickers.
You press the jump button again at the very top of your.
Not that I'm putting Activision on that level, of course, but it's a thing that exists to make money, you know? Like, those parasites that invade ants to penetrate the exoskeleton and, you know, and take over the mind of its ant host to infect its colony exist to do that. it doesn't mean it's a good thing to do. Strange, looks like a... I think it's meant to be like ski slopes as such. I thought it was a supercharged bit, but no such thing here. How many souls have we managed to collect in this level? Oh, sorry, how do we find out? No, that's not it. Ah, shit. Where do we find out how many souls we've got? Where's the status screen? Oh, we've also got the combat roll here as well for some reason. That wasn't in Spyro 2. Oh, we have to walk through the thing. So instead of pressing triangle to find out, or something like that, or the select button, which we don't have anymore, it's the share button that I find no fucking use for. You've got to go there to find out how many souls you've got to power up the thingy. So I need 11.
Even though I'm a vegetarian, I think you should torch that Yeti. He's pretty tough, though. In fact, I'm not sure you're...
This is a boss fight for us in a very small arena. Or not. I felt that.
The Yeti was tougher than that. I guess he was all bark. Ruff, ruff. Anyway, I was just guarding our sacred talisman to make sure the Yeti didn't eat it.
But yeah, a company existing to make money isn't really much of a justification. Like, that's not the reason, you know, I don't think that that should be a defense for loot boxes and such, and microtransactions and what have you. So yeah, I may have to extend my boycott from, you know, just boycotting any game with loot boxes now, games that have microtransactions in them, because it's, except, you know, like the indie devs. Because it, like Activision, you know, the company that says that games are too expensive to make, which is why I'm not currently playing a video game right now, like, because they don't exist because they're too expensive to make.
We have found that hockey is a
keeps adding them for that reason.
Would you like
just like when they said that the used games market is the problem, just like they said that piracy is killing the industry, and that's why they had to have online passes and DLC and all and microtransactions that were just cosmetic, and then microtransactions that aren't, and then loot boxes.
You have 2 minutes to score 5 goals in the red goal.
So we're going to play hockey, and we've got to score, what's it, 2 goals in 5 minutes, or 5 goals in 2 minutes? I can't remember. Oh shit, right, okay. Shit. So at least here we are only playing against the goalie. So, trick here. To lead him away and then spit it out. Oh, shit. Nah. This is going to take some getting used to. Oh, and as well, that could have been a goal for him. The move speed is offensively unimpressive. I like how it shows up there, though. I like that. I like the crowd in the background as well. Oh, and I think if it hits you as well, you spit the puck out. I like how the goalie has got the Toys for Bob logo on it, the rocket ship. But yeah, it's like I don't really want to give more money to Activision. He says after buying Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy on sale on Steam because it was like 22 fucking pounds. I mean, you know, I must admit, perhaps even to a fault, I'm a man of my word. You know, if I believe that a game deserves, you know, stands out in the industry and is remarkable and, you know, deserves positive attention to stick it to the AAA devs, I will pay for it. Or if I want, you know, I like to say, I put my money where my mouth is. It's easy to say boycott, 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 but as we saw with Modern Warfare 2, that didn't fucking happen. If you're in a group that says boycott Modern Warfare 2 and you're seen playing it, you have made boycotts everywhere just seem far more ridiculous in my opinion. I like his tiny little legs, I must admit. Oh, he's like, oh shit! Now I can attack the Yeti. Thanks for not picking it up, Spyro, you prick. I don't believe the Yeti can attack me, though. Square on his arsehole. There we go. Now we've got to score more than him, and I think in this match, it's not just about scoring more, it's about... Oh shit, he can attack me. I must admit, that's a nice addition, a bit of challenge. And I don't take any damage from it though, so that's good. Because this prick doesn't. Oh shit! Oh, could have had that then! Right. Yeah. So anyway, we haven't got the skill point here. Shit, I fucked that up. Right, let's try again. I mean, I suppose I could try again, but this is something that we could just leave till the very end of the game. I'm going to try and lure him down this way, just enough to... Yes! I've just realised as well, I don't think my neighbours are out, so that's going to be a bit annoying. So I apologise to my neighbours for that. Because they are... The neighbours here are good. Well, one of my neighbours is good anyway, and that's the one I'm worried about pissing off. I could give a toss if my other neighbours are offended there. Like, they don't seem to stop screaming at Fortnite or whatever they play when, you know, when I'm taking the shit. Or having a poo, whichever one's funnier to you. I don't believe you can flame the goalie, as much as I would like to. Just get this back again if I can. I also know, I think there was a certain range that you had to exceed before, before you could, like, pick up the puck. So if the, so if the goalkeeper had just
if you
shot it out of the goal, like defended, it's like you had to be a certain distance away before you could pick it up again. So you can always go in for another match just for the sake of it, but yeah, they're just playing for fun, idly. So yeah. Now we have got a few more gems to get. I don't think there's any around here though, but I would like to have a look around very quickly. Now I don't believe I think you have to score the first goal or something like that before you can play another game, or you have to talk to the brother here. I say brother and not monk. I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, I don't know if I fancy giving Activision much more money after this. Like, I will say that, you know, I am willing to support games coming to PC if it's a good port. Like, well, fuck, I'll take anything. I mean, for Christ's sake, I bought a prototype, you know. But yeah, it's like, you know, I'm sort of, I have to have those convictions because, I mean, a lot of people don't practice what they preach.
But now it will hide in the statues. If you were to flame all 10 statues...
Just quickly skip the text there. So what we're going to do is we've got to exercise these statues. There is an evil spirit there who we will encounter a lot more of, I think, in later parts of the game. So it requires us basically to get to the entire level again, and look out for badness. Quite glad they kept this in here. It doesn't do anything, but it's just nice to look around. Yeah, the statues are noticeably different. They used to be something like a sort of like bile green before, and now they're just a lot more sinister and grimy. They also, as well, they used to have like fangs as well, like really sharp teeth. Like here, to be honest, it looks like a character from like Wallace and Gromit or something. You know, like one of Aardman's productions. Wallace and Gromit are great. Surprisingly good games as well. It's like, I think Project Zoo was one of them. There was the Telltale adventure games. There were Wallace and Gromit Telltale adventure games. They were fucking awesome. Jens Gromit. Sorry, I cannot replace. Who was it? Peter Sallis who did the voice of Wallace. I think it's a quintessential like British TV show. That it's like if everyone had Wallace and Gromit, then there'd be world peace. You know, it's like we'd actually be able to focus on good things in life instead of me complaining about Activision. In fact, actually, that would be the world's greatest problem at that point. It doesn't appear as though we've got rid of all the spirits. Hello, what's this here? Golden egg, by the looks of things. Of course, yes, we've got plenty of other places to go yet. Yeah, the super jump there allows us to spring through the air. Of course, you've already seen it. So yeah, I think my rant with Activision is over now. I mean, if I am a hypocrite for buying, you know, Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, and this as well, new. I also bought Insane Trilogy on PS4 new as well. Then I will accept that. You know, I hate Activision because I mean, it's easy enough to criticize. Sorry, I'm looking for fireworks. Here they are. Our rocket. Yes, very faithfully redesigned. It's easy enough to criticize these companies, but if you keep giving them money, they're going to keep on doing the things they do. However, I like to think, perhaps naively, perhaps overly optimistic, which I hate about myself, is that by buying this game, by showing that I'm willing to give them this money for this, but not for these other things, they might actually start paying attention. Of course, that's so unrealistic to expect, though, isn't it? Because it's... I need another 10 gems. I'm going to have a look for them, because I'm determined to leave this level not empty-handed. Full-handed. I wonder if it's up there. I bet it's stuck in some fucking grass as well, isn't it? I'll review this footage sometimes and I think I'm such a dumbass. And yeah, like that gem in treetops, I think it was. Never would have figured that one out. Ah, here's the other one. The other statue. Still got another one, I think that's in here. In fact, I think it's up there somewhere. Possibly even... yeah. Nope. Look again. I found the trickiest one anyway, which was in the sort of icy statue. Cavern, rather. Yeah, but then, I mean, like, we all know that AAA publishers, they're going to do both, you know, it's like, they're not going to just stop microtransactions because this is successful. It doesn't matter if it's more successful. They will do both. It's like, it used to be that microtransactions were only in free-to-play games. Look where we are now. Where we're now just where the new line of defense, possibly even the final one, is it's just cosmetic. Unless it's Fortnite, in which case it's original PvE mode, which was the reason why it sold so poorly, is because it wasn't a battle royale. It had no marketing whatsoever. That had loot boxes wherein you pay for weapons. The defense there was at least you can get it in game, like Team Fortress 2 years ago. Yeah. I wonder how people feel about that now. Because it's like, yeah, it was games like TF2. It was games like CS:GO, I think it was. Sort of started this all off, I think. But yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not blaming those. I mean, I bought into that shit years ago and was incredibly naive.
Well done, Spyro. You've scared the evil spirit away. Why don't you take this? I borrowed it from the temple. They don't need it.
Professor's voice is quite good here, actually.
I'm glad that evil spirit is gone. It was giving me the heebie-jeebies.
So you can talk to the characters after, and they'll have alternate dialogue as well. That's good. I'm really determined to get that fucking egg thing. It's probably not an egg, but still. In fact, it might be. It might be a sort of hidden extra. An extra goodie. Still missing 5 gems. I'm trying to think where they might be now. I'm gonna have a look a bit around a bit more. But I mean, yeah, I have to press sort of. I mean, if you buy games with loot boxes, fine. If you buy loot boxes, then fine. But microtransactions, I can't tell you. Like, this is why I've said this before about reviewing, but I'm kind of I'm slowly losing interest in the reviewing game because it's so hard to tell people to do something. Like you think you have so much power over the consumer, and it's all bollocks. You know, it's like they're gonna do it anyway. It's like you have to want to change. You have to want to see the problem. You have to. I mean, it's almost ideological. You know, and I don't like that about myself. I don't like that it's sort of like by default this game is bad because it has microtransactions and such. I don't like that part about myself, and I've got to think differently. But yeah, at the same time, I cannot, in good faith, shout at Activision for having microtransactions, loot boxes in the game while paying for those products. And I have to. I mean, maybe I am an extremist in that I choose not to buy the game because the game. I mean, those sales are surplus basically. They are surplus to the loot boxes and such. They make significantly more money. Yeah, the game sale is a bonus. It's just the myth that they can perpetuate that games are too expensive to make and that we need the box price. Yeah. So, I mean, I certainly see the positives in things like, it doesn't split the player base with map packs and whatnot. I just think in Activision and Blizzard's case, they can afford to do those things, but they choose not to. I mean, as much as I dislike the Two Worlds 2 developers' response to microtransactions being added to their game, years later, they were at least honest and said, at least forward and said that, we'll remove them when you can give me a good reason why we should. Same with Ubisoft as well. UB Warlock, I do believe their name was. That so long as they're in the game, we will continue to sell them, and I think that's unfortunate. But I mean, this is sort of where my argument sort of falls flat. That if people continue doing it, I can't do anything about it. I'm not a fucking mental ARA that continues to make people's lives hell. For the sake of my ideology that just is not willing to accept certain facts. Not saying that all ARAs are mental, of course. I do generally agree with animal rights and animal welfare. I think it's going to be in here, this other gem minute. But, goddamn. Why did I check this fucking place before? Oh, that's why, because he won't pick the bastard thing up. Sorry about that. We've gone all political, haven't we, today? I apologise. Right, so we're going to return home now. We've got another cutscene as well. I apologise that took as long as it did. I was actually expecting to get a whole lot more done. I think what we'll do for the next 20 minutes is we will just buy the swimming skill, get Summer Forest done, and then we'll go to the... We'll go to some levels in the next part. And that one will be a lot better. As I say, I apologise for the poor first impression of Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer. I hope it doesn't reflect in any way the quality of it. So yeah, a lot of the ending cutscenes here, they'd have some really funny jokes at the end. Some of them are just like sort of random and out of place, and I mean, we in Britain, we do love our slapstick comedy. We do love people being brought down a peg. You know, it doesn't matter if they're the scum of the earth. You know, it doesn't matter if they're working class, middle class, upper class. It doesn't matter if they're politicians. It doesn't matter if it's satire of politicians laughing at us. We love people. We love misery in this country. We really do. Like, misery loves company, and Britain loves misery. Should be a phrase. We're going to pay 500 gems to learn the swim skill. And that's why
you jump in the water,
I sort of understand where the developers are coming from with a lot of the jokes here, but I don't think they quite got them.
When you're underwater,
like, you just have like characters just hitting the back of their head at the end. It's like, that's the punchline, or it's like it removes the energy from the punchline. I don't know why there's just a drain there and there's like nothing here. Surely you could do something with aquaponics or some stuff. Oh, I love the frog designs as well. These are the same as the ones in Dark Hollow. But actually the ones in Spyro 2 look different to the ones in Spyro 1 in the original games. So, we've got the swim skill. We're not going to dive underwater there just yet. I'm going to go back over here. But yes, some of the jokes just kind of fall flat, and it's a shame, really, because I kind of get what they're trying to do, but they really could have done with like someone like Rick Mail on the job, you know? Oh god, I wish he voiced more games before he died. I really do. I wish he did a lot more things before he died. But well, these things happen, unfortunately. I think I don't think any celebrity death has made me realise how fleeting life is when like Rick Mail. I mean, yes, he smoked, he drank, but he was, you know, he exercised quite regularly as well. I think sometimes on the bottom live shows he'd shown himself a bit flabby or something like that, but he was always in good humour. And yeah, just one day he went away, and that was crying shame. His voice work in Hogs of War, I will never forget. Some of it, you could easily say it was politically incorrect. I don't dispute that, but I still think as an actor he was very good. And to say you did, like, I think almost exclusively all the lines, or like I think there were actually maybe 2 voice actors at most. Like you had like him doing like every voice, and it was like there's one single character. Oh, and maybe a lady voice actor as well, and that was it. So 3 voice actors. So here we have some switch puzzles. So one door closes, another opens.
You're well on your way, Spyro.
How appropriate, they're on the subject of death as well.
Talismans to help us defeat Ripto before he can take over Avalar. Oh, and keep collecting those orbs too.
Okay, so we're collecting orbs to unlock more portals. So I don't believe that Hurricos, it was either Hurricos or Sunny Beach, where you needed a certain amount of gems before you, orbs before you could unlock the level itself. Oh shit! I'll exit the level right away and get the gems, because there's a few things in Sunny Beach that are gonna end up pissing me off, I think. I don't think I've seen any footage for Sunny Beach though. I can imagine this level being very good, except the turtle soup part. Turtle soup. So we don't get any gems or anything, so we're not tempted to go there right away. I did say that I want to do the stuff. And then in the next part, if I remember, I shall plug my headphones into the monitor so I can actually listen to the sound and not my own voice. I mean, it's very nice to listen to my own voice. Yes. this hunter there. He's going to tell us about the camera. We don't really need to know anything about that just yet. Passive and active modes. I don't really need to know anything like that yet.
Say, Spyro, you see this wall here? I bet you're dying to know what's on the other side. If only I had a few more gems, I might be able to remember how to lower the wall.
So we can pay 400 gems and another, perhaps, God almighty, it's so tempting, isn't it, to just go in all political. No, I'm not going to do that.
To have jogged my memory.
Bring down the wall! Okay, there it is. Right, that's it. Bring down the wall. That sounds like a bit like Bring on the Wall. One of those things in another game show on television. Because we can't get a fucking enough of them. I mean, I must admit, at least things like that get people fit. Or, well, I don't know about that, but it gets them doing something for a day. I don't know which is more than can be said for me.
Hi, Spyro. This talisman door will only open if you have all 6 Summer Forest talismans. Once the door is open,
the green text I think was in
the dungeon.
The original games as well, if I remember. Okay, so there's Ripto and Crush in there. Just want to have a quick look around because it does look nice. It does look so nice. Oh God, why did this have to have fucking downloads? It's so fleeting. It's going away forever. Again, I'd like to apologise to my neighbours for that racket. God, it looks amazing. Fuck me. Oh, God. I want to look at it always. I want to treasure this moment. It's beautiful. Oh, God. And to think that, you know, when Sony shits its bed and Xbox and the Xbox One dies on its ass, this thing isn't playable anymore. Steam, if it comes to, well, it will come to PC because Activision like money. You know, why wouldn't they bring this to the PC? Yes, there's been exclusives in the past, but I think the reason why the Insane Trilogy took so long to come to PS4 is because originally of the exclusivity deal. I think there was an exclusivity deal that Sony signed. It was like for less than a year, so 364 days, and it came to PC essentially.
The orbs
and
you're
Switch
carrying have
and Xbox
activated
One,
the special portal.
But I think now that they've seen that it makes money and it is worth doing,
You'll get lots of treasure.
we'll
Have
see
fun.
we'll see if they bring it to PC. I'd very much like that.
This is one of Hunter's favorite speedways.
Right, okay, so this is the speedway, so these are the one of the flights. If we've got time, I might do this one. Because we haven't actually got the climb ability to go up there and finish up. Now, we're only missing 15 gems, and we're missing another orb. Let's do this, and then I'll go for a poo. But yeah, I think this will come to PC. I think this will come to Switch and the Xbox One because, you know, it's like I think before Activision weren't so confident, but now they've seen that the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy makes money. Oh, this is nice. Looks nice. Very nice indeed. And I think they will see the same for this, and I certainly hope that they do. Shit. Lost valuable time arsing about there. So despite being a newer game, this one has been given a lot of love, if I may say so myself. I think all of I think all 3 games, Speedways and Flights, will look equally as good. Because this is astonishing. And I was about to say, this looks way better than the originals, but I was thinking back to, like, Wild Flight, and it's like, this thing looks fucking amazing! I think, a testament to how good these games' levels are. Because I am the Herald of the Amethyst Drake, I would say that in order for me to give my top 10 levels in the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, I would have to first of all give awards to the 10 levels of the first game, second game, and third game, the originals, and then do the same again for the Reignited Trilogy, except they can't be the same levels as the original list. So, for example, I couldn't say that Treetops from the Reignited Trilogy is one of my top 10 levels. It would have to be... The Reignited Trilogy, I guess the philosophy for the scoring system there would be the Reignited Trilogy has to improve on the levels that I didn't rate worthy of being saved from the Purge of the Holy Fire. So, if it could do that, then I would really have to commend it. I mean, of course, that's just a very arbitrary rating system, though. You know, it's like like these top fives and such. Like, I mean, I only have rules because it makes things more interesting for me personally. I don't know if it makes things more interesting for my viewers or whatever. I think it was Master J who said that he didn't really like such things when he did like his standard top 5 videos. I'm not having a pop at him, by the way. I love his content. Yeah, I think he said something like that. He just made a just like a very sly remark about it. But yeah, I mean, I do agree they are sort of arbitrary rules, but it makes it more fun to... Ah, shit! Again! Sorry. I've got to be careful now, because I'm going to get a bollocking. And I've got the council coming around later to deliver something. And, well, I don't want... the neighbours to complain. Ah, dear. No, not after all the complaints we've made about noise violations. God, it's terrible here. They really should name this place Mafficking Way, because then if anyone came to move here, I could say, get out of Mafficking Way. Sorry, I know one shouldn't laugh at one's own jokes, but I've only just heard that one recently. It's like the Sofa King one. I like that one. They're Sofa King great. I think this hysteria comes from the fact that we are running out of time and I'm desperate to keep the render time short. That, and I just want a fucking shower, and fast, because I don't like waiting on people. Because it'll be sod's law that they knock when I'm in the shower. Like, no, that's me. No one gets away with that. So finally, we're done. Oh! There is one more thing we need to do there. Because this is new to the speedways. There are actually mini-games within the mini-games. And they are good. I've got to give them that, they are good. We'll get those in the next part, I'm sure. I want to thank you ever so much for watching this part of a bit of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'm going to end it there. And, yes, we shall resume very shortly, I would hope. I'd like to get as many parts done as I can, because there's not much left of the trilogy, and I haven't got much time to record for the next couple of days. I won't be able to record on the weekend or anything like that. So, with that said, thank you ever so much for watching once again. I'll see you later. Ta-ta for now.